you doing? Welcome to another video to Will Walkley Outdoor channel. Just before we get into this next video, let me tell you, if it's your very first time watching this channel and you do like the content, do feel free to like, comment, and if you possibly can, subscribe, because it does help me with the future videos. So with all that out of the way, let's tell you what we're doing with this one. This is a video that took me around about 12 months to make. Normally my videos, I go out for the weekend or the day, whatever, and just shoot it, come back, edit it, and it's out on YouTube. But this one has been a bit of a big project for me. It's took me like 12 months to make. Okay, I've not been working at it consistently for 12 months. I've had time off to do other things and that, but it's one that I've enjoyed doing. It's one that I had to take my time with, find out a bit of information. I'm no historian, so don't quote me on any of the dates. Or it's just been a bit of fun. It's been a bit of fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's about retracing the steps where I used to live. I was born and bred in Middleton in 1958. I've lived here ever since, so it's been great fun reminiscing and going back, looking at all the places and that. So I thought I'd share it with you, so hope you like it. Let's get on with it. Yeah, so it all started for me back in 1958, some 62 years ago. This is where I was born, on Acresfield Road, this detached here. And it's ironic really, because 62 years later on, I'll live just round the corner on Guildford. So, but my first memories really started when I was living on Borschia Road, so let's take a quick look at that. Right, okay, let's just go back to a few of them photographs for a minute. We're looking at this one here. This is at the bottom of Clough Road, which is up here. That's this being Borschia Road along here. Now I used to live at 163. I'm sure it was 163, but I might be mistaken. I could possibly be wrong. But yeah, this was the end of Borschia Road, with Clough Road coming up here. You've got Lovett's, the butcher's on the corner there, remember that. Also remember this little shop here called Bithel's shop. Yeah, great little shop from what I can remember as a kid. I just noticed a little pram outside there. Little pram outside the shop. But this photograph brings back quite a few memories. You can see this entry-like thing here. There was an entry here and a ginnel that went up straight up through the houses on the street behind, which was Brassy Street. We used to take a shortcut up there to get to the Red Wreck where we used to play. I always remember one day I was legging it down Borschia Road here, just come out of our house, which is a little bit further up there, which I'll show you later. But come running down here, like you do as a kid, legged it round the corner, and there was a parked car just where this one is here. And I always remember this big silver bumper, and I went flying straight into it and cut my knee, so I had to go back home, and my mum sorted me out. But yeah, I've still got the mark on my knee today with that. Only a little scar, but yeah, I remember it. I must have been, don't know how old I was to be honest, but I remember it blooming hurt at the time. But yeah, going to the next picture. Now this picture here is at the back of Borschia Road. It's Bratty Street, and the reason I'm showing you this one is because I lived on Borschia Road, and these are very similar to the houses that were on Borschia Road, or a row of four. There was a row of four houses, which I'll show you again in the next photo. But these are the nearest I'm going to get to showing you what I meant by the steps coming up from Borschia Road, from on the pavement up to the house. And you can see there's about 5 or 6 steps maybe with little railings on. They're very similar to that. So yeah, it's amazing. And if you look at the end of the house there, that's the end of the row of this block on Bratty Street. You've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 houses in that small amount of space. They must have been very small. I know they were cold. I know they were very cold. We had ice on the window. That was on the inside of the window. They were very cold, and we had the tin bath. I always remember the tin bath in front of the fire, having to fill it up with kettles of water. Took like forever and a day. But that's how it was for a lot of people. Go to the next one. Let me just skip that a minute, because this is one that I really want to show you. So if we look at this one, just bring that up a bit so you can see it as best you can. Old pointy man on it again. Right, now this here is the entry that we was talking about, where I ran into the back of the parked car and the ginnel just up at the top. Now you can see here this row of houses. All these was on sort of ground level, on the pavement level, as you can tell by the lintels here. But this row, if you look, they're just a little bit high, and the windows go right up to the roof. And it was these row of 4 houses that had the railings on and the steps going up. And I lived in the second one there. Pretty sure it was the second one. But yeah, this is a. I'm not going to be able to get a picture of our house. Obviously, it's gone now, but I've looked everywhere, and this is the nearest picture I can get. It's a shame really, because if the picture had been taken a little bit further down here, you would have seen the steps that I'm talking about. But nevertheless, it's a good picture, and it's the closest I'm going to get to ever seeing where I used to live on Borschia Road. Right, going back to this one. This is the bottom of Clough Road, and it shows you the butchers, Lovett's, which we briefly mentioned. But look at the cobbles. Look at the cobbles on Clough Road. And this here was Bratty Street, which runs straight across, and then it crossed over Dixon Street, which was the end of this block here up there. And it run right along to Barrowfields, which I'm sure a few people already remember what I'm talking about. If you live in Middleton, that is. If you're not, if you don't live in Middleton, well, you haven't got a clue what I'm going on about. But hey, never mind. Well, as you can see, it's a little bit snowy today. A bit cold as well, but the sun's shining. That's all that matters. Just walking through a place where you probably know. It's Borschia Clough. Borschia Clough. It used to be known as a dingle when I was a kid, and we used to play on here quite a bit. A little bit further down actually, which I'll show you when we get to it. It's such a nice place in Middleton, to be honest. It's a really nice little walk. I'm just trying to find a path, I can't find one. Right, I think we need to go across field and we'll go down this way. Always looks better in the snow, doesn't it? Always looks better. Now years ago when we were kids, we used to play in here. We used to get in through Clough Road at that time probably late or mid 60s. There was a mill or a factory at the bottom of Clough Road called Chaddick and Smith's. Can't remember what they used to do. But it all used to be fenced off, and there used to be one of these big double gates, you know, these big metal gates, and there used to be a gap. There used to be a little gap at the bottom, and we could get through it, and we used to go in there and play commandos and stuff like that, you know. And like I say, it was absolutely covered in weeds and like lupins and, you know, tall plant things. And I'm sure that's where I got my hay fever from. I've suffered from hay fever since I was a kid. But it used to be absolutely covered in lupins and weeds and that. We used to play hide and seek and, like I say, commandos and all sorts of daft games like you do when you're a kid. But I tell you what, it was awesome. It was fantastic. I mean, you can see what it's like today. It's all been cleared up and tidied up. Paths have been put in and everything. So it's more of like a little nature walk now. But years ago, it was nothing. Nothing to anybody but us. Anyway, I'll show you where we used to get in. Obviously, the gates are not there anymore, but I'll show you where we used to get in. When we get to it, it's a little bit further on down here. So what I'm going to do, we'll go down, come out of here, Borschia Clough, and then we'll head over to another place where we used to play football, the Red Rec. Don't know if any of you remember that, who know Middleton at all. That was another fantastic place where we used to play football every Sunday, but more about that in a bit. just come out of Borschia Clough. We're walking up Clough Road. And like I was saying before, the gates that used to see, none of this was here, obviously. I think the gates used to be about here, and Chaddick and Smith used to be just over there behind them signs, right on the edge of what's now Borschia Clough. But yeah, there used to be some big metal gates, and we used to just squeeze under and have a beano of a day. This brings back a lot of memories as well. Remember, I think it was a summer of, was it 73 when we had a fantastic summer? I think it was. It was 72, 73, or thereabouts. We used to play out as a kid all day, didn't you? Absolutely all day long you used to play. We used to play with little cars on, just on this little bit of grass here. And then and we'd venture across the road onto what was our commando field under them gates. But I remember come up these steps a few times. Yeah, we used to play here with you know, just little cars. When must have been about 7 or 8, something like that. We saw some great games. I don't think kids play out no more, do they? But yeah, if you have a look round here, this guys used to be what was known as the Red Wreck, and it was all like a shale, gravel sort of shale thing, pink shale, that's why it was called the Red Wreck. And it used to be a lot better condition. It used to be all flat, it used to be goalposts up, and we used to play every Sunday, nearly every Sunday. But this was probably later on in the 70s. There was a lot of big kids that used to play as well, but we all used to join in. We used to have a big game of football every Sunday afternoon. And I can remember this street here. I think this is North Street, isn't it? This is North Street. And there used to be a couple of brothers, 2 or 3 brothers. I think the youngest one that we used to sort of play with was Brian Shepherd. Blimey, that's just come to me now, Brian Shepherd. I'm sure it was Brian Shepherd. He used to live about half a dozen houses down on the right hand side there. I'll tell you, another thing that's just come into my mind now is, see that house there, that semi? That is on Wagstaff Street. And there was a mate called Ray Ellison, who lived on there. We used to play with him. And I always remember that a woman who lived at that house used to hear her loads of times shouting out, you know, for a son. And her son was, I know what her son was called because I always remember it, because I've heard it that many times. She used to say, "Michael Ellis, if you don't get in now and have your dinner, you'll be in trouble." That was my Irish accent coming out. But yeah, I remember that now. I can't remember playing with Michael Ellis, to be honest, but I always remember his mum shouting him in for his tea and stuff like that, and obviously if we were playing here we could hear. I might have played with him, I don't know, can't remember. It certainly brought back a lot of memories, just you know, retracing the steps where I used to play and live as a kid. Yeah, there used to be a woman there, she used to always be moaning because the ball kept going over the fence. We used to have to go at garden and get it back. But couldn't help it, could you? Playing football. Just going to have a quick walk down here because there used to be a little path, sort of a dirt track that it used to lead down onto Borschia Street, where the working men's club is. And yeah, it's still here. It used to be a lot wider than this, what I can remember. And yeah, used to be a shortcut up, because going back in time, I originally lived on Borschia Road, which was just at the bottom here. Now I'm not going to go down there because I need to get over to Cheapside. But maybe later on in the video we'll show you that bit. But yeah, that's still there. Used to be a little dirt track. Used to cut through and come up here. Don't think the park was there. Can't remember the park at that time. Might have been. But no memories at the park actually. But memories of this place here. Oh, football every Sunday. It used to be awesome. Yeah, so that's North Street, where Brian Shepherd and his older brothers used to live. Bit icy here, isn't it? Right guys, gonna walk up here now. Gonna walk up here and try and get over, cross over onto Cheapside. That's where I used to live in the late 70s, is it? Or the early 70s? I'll put some up on screen and let you know. But yeah, we used to have to walk up out knackered now. Hard work, innit, this, when you get older? Edward Street down there. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Meantime, just at the top of Barrowfields. This is a Friendship pub. That used to be a working man's club, that. It's a kids' place now, but it used to be some working man's club. Yeah, if we come on to here, yeah, the Friendship, somebody who used to play with Colin and Steve Ingo, their mum and dad used to have it. Then again, not too sure what time it was, but I'm sure people will remember the Ingos from the Friendship. This place here, my mate here, used to live in this house. It used to be called, it still is called, Eamon Burton. Eamon Burton, he actually lives right corner from us now. But we used to play tennis against that wall where he lived, and this woman who lived behind us here, she used to keep coming out and telling us off. But yeah, I'm going to take you down there because, like I say, I used to live up here, just round the corner. I think this is St Stephen's Gardens, isn't it? Yeah, St Stephen's Gardens. I knew a few of my mates lived round here. I think we were talking about it on Old Middleton, New Middleton a few months back. It says Peterloo Terrace. Another guy. See how all these names keep coming back to me now. There's a guy called Pete Danzuk and Rita. Pete and his sister Rita used to live at this one here. It's again the Masonettes. That's what I used to live in, so we'll get round to there in a bit. But yeah, I used to live here. I used to play the accordion as well. Used to play the accordion. You know, I was saying I've got to go in because I've got my accordion lessons. He lived at that one there. Look further down, that's where Gary Parkinson used to live, and his sister Belinda and Angela used to live at I think it was the third house down. Yeah, but I think Pete Danzuk is still in Middleton. See him now and again. Taxi driver. You look on here now. There's another place we used to play football. Not changed much, to be honest. It seems to have changed that much. But yeah, with all this snow that we've got at the moment, we used to make slides down this little stretch here. Yeah, we used to make slides down this little hill. That was pretty cool in the winter. We used to play out till about 9 o'clock. because we only lived there. Used to live at that house there. The end house, another masonette. Number 1 Wickham Terrace. We'll have a walk up here. And the Booths used to live at that one. Gillian, I think she would call him. Gillian. John Howarth, Jonah. He used to live there. And then, as you can see up there, Wickham Terrace, this is where I was. I think Steve Crawshaw was living at that one, number 3. Now Steve, he was a special needs kid. He couldn't talk at that time. I think he had autism, but I'm not sure. The reason I say that is because my son's got autism. But this is where I used to live, number 1 Wickham Terrace. Crazy houses then. Walk straight in and walk straight upstairs. If you walk downstairs, you end up in your living room. But yeah. You look round here now. King Street. It's actually amazing because I want to go down there because I remember things down there, and I also want to go this way because I remember things up here. So we'll go up here first, eh? Good mate of mine, Colin Verity. I remember Colin Verity used to live at that one there. It would be, what is it, 30 King Street. 30 King Street. He used to live there. He was a very good mate, Carl. I still see him now and again in Mid. I always remember when I walk across here, people are looking at me as if I'm daft because I've got my GoPro out talking to myself. I always remember here we used to play hopscotch right along this path. Amazing. Morning. Yeah, and this was this is still King Street, isn't it? Bottom end of King Street. Yeah, some fantastic views from here. In fact, I'm just going to take a few pictures, so bring you back in a minute. Come down here onto Edward Street. Edward Street's changed a lot. Obviously everywhere's changed a lot, but there used to be terraced houses all the way down here. Another name that's just come into my head, Pete Sadowski. I used to live in one of these little houses. I remember you used to call for him. See if you were playing out. You used to do that, didn't you, when you were kids? Nowadays, kids don't call for each other, do they? All social media stuff. Or getting a lift off the dad. That's me. All sort of changed.